Welcome to the next video in our ongoing PowerSite training video series. Again, congratulations on choosing PowerSite. And in this training, you'll be learning more about some of the features that make up a PowerSite, specifically our content management system. So what is a content management system? Basically, it's a web application that allows both technical and non-technical users to manage their website's content. It's a very powerful tool for businesses that want to be able to manage their website on their own, with or without the help of developers. Some of the more popular names out there right now are things like WordPress and Drupal and Joomla, which I'm sure you've at least heard of once or twice. So again, the CMS is one of the main features that comprises PowerSite, and it has a bunch of different features within it, like content creation and editing with the latest HTML, user management, so you can adjust who has access to your website and manage their permissions. There's search engine optimization tools that are built in, so you can maximize the exposure of your website. There's also extensive customization options for ongoing development work. As you notice that you may need to change something or you don't like the way that something looks, you can take care of that as you progress with your website. There's also a bunch of additional plugins you can use that will add additional functionality to your website, and there is also a very large and robust community and customer support system in place for the content management system that PowerSite uses. And these are just a few of the features that you can take advantage of when using PowerSite. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the administration dashboard, and this is the primary dashboard that you'll see when you log in. So we'll take a quick look at that right now. So you can see I'm already logged in, and to get to the main dashboard screen, you just click on administration, and you can see there are a bunch of different main areas that you can click on. Going back to the presentation here. So first we're going to look at the content manager, which will list all the different features within your site, as well as allowing you to access each one to add, edit, or delete that feature. So we'll just show you what that looks like here. So you just go to Content Manager, and you can see that it lists literally everything that's on your website. You can see there's 7 pages worth of features, and you can edit or view each one individually, or publish and delete them if they're just in draft form, or if you just want to remove them completely. You can also search for different features within this and then filter the results, and you can just add new features and new feature types up here at the top using this easy to use menu system. So next we're going to look at how to add and edit a page. So this is another main area within the administration dashboard. It's right here. Just click on it. So this lists basically all the pages that are on your website, and you can reorder how they appear. So whether or not they're a sub-page of another page that's higher up in a hierarchy. So for instance, Search Engine Optimization Services has a little dash next to it, which means that it's a sub-page of the home page. Similarly, Brian Conti, Sherry Canavy, Steve Hogue, and Shubita's individual profile pages are all sub-pages of the About section. And you can move how they appear in the hierarchies just by using these arrows here. You can also edit each page just by clicking on the little wrench here. You can see that there's all these different settings here on this page for the website, and you can also add and remove the different features that are on this page. You can view the page, then you can just go back to where you were before. So for instance, if you click on that, you'll see the page that you're looking to edit at that moment. If we go back again, so you can add new pages by clicking on this pencil and edit them. You can also search and view this page and search that page for the individual features after you click on it. You can also delete the selected page just by clicking on the trash can here. Next, we're going to go back to the presentation here. So we just covered that, but that's just a reminder of what you can do. Oh, and you can also add pages with the bottom menu. So just by clicking on this here, new page, it'll take you to a screen very similar to the one we saw when we were editing page settings, where you can add in the page name, the URL that you want to have within your site, the different skins, so basically what template you'll use for that site page. So for instance, you could have the same template we use on our home page for this new page. And there are a bunch of different options for individual page settings. You can adjust the roles of who can edit that page, so maybe you just want your administrators to be able to make changes, or maybe you want to open that up to different people like content administrators. As you see, there's a number of different choices to be made. You can also adjust the keywords and page description to help your SEO. Going back to presentation here. So like I said before, there are a bunch of different page settings that you can edit that will change the way your page appears and behaves. And there are two main ways to edit the page settings. You can go through the add and edit page section that we just took a look at. That's under the main dashboard. Or you can click on the bottom right hand side of the gray bottom menu that appears after you've logged on. And that looks like this here. So I'll just show you quickly on the website. So if we go back to home, you'll see it down here. So if we click on the home page, you'll see that page settings shows up here. So if you click on that, it'll take you to the page settings web page where you can make changes to that specific page that you're on. So what are the different settings that go into this? So there are a lot of different things to take a look at, but we're just going to take a brief glance at some of the more important things. So of course the page skin is basically the template that each page has, so how it'll look. You know, you'll have like a home page template and then a sub page template, and maybe even more templates depending on what your needs are. So you can change the template that's being used with the skin option and also preview it. And you can also add custom CSS classes. And CSS basically changes the way that content is displayed on your page. So if you need to make like specific changes, like with the styling of different tables or the way your copy shows up, it's all done through CSS. So we can take a look here. So you can see here you can add in the CSS classes, and this is more development work. So if you're not feeling comfortable with working in the back end, you can always contact us for additional development work, or maybe if you have someone already on your own team, you could turn to them. So going back quickly to this, we're going to take a look at breadcrumbs. And on the main page settings menu, there is an option for breadcrumbs that you can choose to enable or disable. So if we just click on page settings here, and then we scroll down, you'll see here that it says show breadcrumbs. And if you tick the box here, breadcrumbs will show up. And breadcrumbs are essentially a way to track where you've been on the website. They show the different pages you've clicked on to get to where you are right now. But they can also have a cluttering effect for your nav system if there are too many layers of pages. So it can really actually end up confusing your user. So a good example of breadcrumbs are on websites like Newegg. So we'll go to the main home page here. Now, say we want to go to computer hardware and then look at only CPUs and processors. So we click on that, and then it'll show up here, and these are breadcrumbs. So it shows you went from home to the computer hardware section, and then narrow that down to CPUs and processors. So this makes it really easy for you to see what you clicked on to get to where you are, and then also click back to a previous page. So you can see if we just click on computer hardware, it takes us to the main computer hardware page. And if you disabled breadcrumbs, this submenu here would not show up at all, and you would have to navigate all the way from the beginning through multiple menus to get to where you want to go. So it really works well on a case by case basis. Next, there are things like the meta settings, like the page keywords and the page description. So these are useful for search engine optimization because these add keywords to the pages based on what you think will be most commonly used by a user when they're searching for your website. So for instance, we'll go page settings here again, and you can see that it's under here, meta settings. You can add the tags here, and the keywords actually are here. So basically for us, we do web design and web development, so we would put those key phrases under our keywords, and then also offer up a page description here. And all this helps our SEO and helps search engines and users to find us more easily and then rank higher, so it helps to maximize our exposure overall. Going back to the presentation here, we're moving on. We're going to take a look at the add edit feature now. So we already took a look at the content manager, which is comprised of a bunch of different features. And features are basically different pieces of content that appear on a single page. So for instance, it could be a slideshow on your home page, or blog article, or maybe image slideshow feed, and then a different feature on the same page could be the video below it. They can also be added by clicking the Add Remove Feature button in page settings. And just to remind you where that is, it's right here at the top, Zone Mode tab. And this, if you click on it, will show you what are the different features that make up the page. So we have our welcome message here, and then we have another section which are the latest blogs, and these are just different types of just regular copy and images. And you can reorder how these appear on a page, so you could click on one of these blue arrows to make it appear so that blogs are above the welcome message. Also, if your template does use multiple columns, you can move the pieces of content from column to column so it'll appear on the left or the middle or the right hand side. And I'm not going to do this with this page right now because I don't want to do anything on our main website here. But you can also select things like editing that specific feature setting. So if you click on the little wrench here, you can do that. I'll show you the specific content settings page for that feature. So if you scroll down, it'll show you different options, like what sort of editor, like what you see is what you get. So basically that means whatever you type into the space or put in the space is what's going to appear when you save your work. And this just so happens to be an HTML content piece. So there's different things like slideshow settings, if it is indeed a slideshow, and you can change the transition effects for it. There's also content versioning, which is basically if you want to keep track of different updates to that specific piece of content. So say you want to see if you can add a slideshow in to your page, but then you realize that it's messed up the way your whole page works, so you want to revert back to a previous version. You can do that as long as you keep a version history. There are a bunch of different options to dive into for each different type of feature, but we're just giving you a brief overview here. And then going back to the presentation. So we already covered the multiple columns there, but just a reminder, you can move them from one column to the other if your template has that using the blue arrows. And then of course there's additional plugins and customization that you can add in to your Power Site and your content management system. So if there's some functionality that you realize you really need or some custom features, we can add that in for you. Just get in touch with us and describe what you're looking for and what you need, and we'll work with you to find a solution. And it's very easy to do because the content management system is completely customizable and you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. Also, keep in mind that if you're having any questions or concerns regarding your content management system for Power Site, you can sign up for one of our ongoing support programs. And these things include, email, form, and phone support depending on which plan you choose. There's a bunch of other benefits like ongoing development work, social media support, and newsletters and helpful tutorials and that sort of thing that you'll get monthly. So if that sounds like an option that would be good for your business, please take a look at this page below. You can see the URL right there. So what do you do next? Well, take a look at the other in-depth training videos we have. Review and finalize your website content so it looks like it's in tip-top shape. Also, be sure that you have a plan in place to maximize your investment on your website. So a marketing plan on how you're going to go to market and announce this to the world and let them know that you have this brand new website that you're ready to show everybody. And of course, it's time to start making some money online. So on behalf of Fast Track, I would just like to say thank you. If you have any questions, please visit the website below to get those answered for you. Thanks again.